All right. Well, today, in my opinion, not too bad of a day. I mean, there are things in the news that nothing really got me upset today. Made me wonder, made me think. You know, I watched my normal shows, from the left and the right, trying to keep my opinion, centered as best I can. Keep facts where facts belong and kind of put opinions to the side. And the facts right now about this, famed blue wave that was supposed to be washing across the nation seems to be more of like a Gulf of Mexico type of wave as opposed to a Hawaii style wave. Gulf of Mexico waves are kind of just sploosh, whereas Hawaii waves are like, you can surf them. You can't surf a Gulf of Mexico wave. You just kind of like let it hit you and it rocks you a little bit and you feel a little sick when you get out of the water. And it's not just that it's not polls, it's actual voting data that's coming from early voting. Republicans normally outperform Democrats in absentee and mail-ins, whereas Democrats normally outperform in early voting, and especially that was very much expected this midterm election because of the push. The Democrats saying their base was wild up over everything, and we're expecting a high Democratic turnout, but it turns out that especially in a lot of the battle states right now, a lot of these close races, Republicans are actually showing up for early voting. And I think it was this past weekend or it's this upcoming weekend that early voting starts here in my state. And I don't like early voting. I like going to the polls on election day. I like, saying hi to the volunteers. I enjoy talking to the people and thanking them for volunteering and stuff like that. And it's just kind of an event for me. It's fun. I like it. And then I'll go home, make a drink, and watch the election results come in. And let me tell you, in 2016, I was not disappointed because it got crazy and it was hilarious. So we'll see how this November is, if it's as funny and hilarious as the 2016 was. I hope it is. I really do. I'd love to see Maxine Waters get dropped and Elizabeth Warren. That would be just icing on the cake. I don't think it's going to happen, not in those districts, not with the candidates running against them. But it would be great. So the blue wave is not so much of a wave as it is kind of ripples in a pond, it seems. And I really hope that pulls out through November. That's good. The one thing that's really, it doesn't have me angry, it just has me, I don't even know, concerned, because I don't quite get it. The New York Times posted the tweet to their article about the Trump policy rollout about sex. And not intercourse, the actual sex, male, female. And they make it, they use sex and gender interchangeably, but their claim is that it's not, but then they do it. And they're claiming that Trump administration is trying to define gender, but Trump administration, the memo didn't mention gender at all. The memo was strictly related as to sex, that a person's sex is determined by their genitals at birth. And only 0.3% of the population is intersex, so you do set policy based off of the majority, and a majority being 99.7% of the population. It's a good base to set the policy off of. So I immediately saw it and brushed it off because it's obviously fake. It's false. It's not fake. It's just wrong. It's inaccurate. Whether you want to call it fake news or whatever you want to call it, I try not to buy into the rhetoric, and I try not to repeat the rhetoric. It's hard sometimes, especially as easy as it rolls off the tongue, fake news, jobs not mobs. it rolls off the tongue easily and it makes sense, but I try not to spread it as much as I can. Like, I don't understand how people don't do they know it's fake? Do they know it's a lie? Do they see it but choose to ignore it because it supports their narrative? Or do they not get it? And I'm not sure which bothers me more, which worries me more. I don't know if I'd be more worried if they didn't get it, or they just don't understand, or I think the second. I think that it bothers me. It would bother me more if they got it, but they still tried to use it as their narrative. Like, they get it, they know that it's wrong, but they don't call it out. Instead, they just retweet it, because it had retweets, it had comments, and not all of them were people telling them they were wrong. I can guarantee you. So that's a problem. That does bother me more. If they know it's wrong, they don't call it out. If I know something is wrong, if I know that some, like a Republican said or did something wrong, I should call it out. I should not retweet. Let's say Fox News. Let's say Fox News posts a story and the facts don't match the story, and the story doesn't match the actual facts of what happened. Like they did it during Obama's time. There was a couple of news stories that Fox News posted about Obama that was, misleading in the title, didn't really clarify much in the article, and then when you went to the actual policy, the article didn't narrate the policy accurately or truthfully. I called that out as bad. I will always call that out as bad. That's terrible. Don't do that shit. It makes the rest of us look bad. Don't be an ass. But why aren't people calling out the New York Times for this? Like, why aren't people that are in that demographic of the New York Times, left views, why don't they call that out? Why don't they say this is terrible reporting? Why are you guys doing this? And just use it to support their narrative. And I really hope it's the ignorance, not the malice. Ignorance is, it's hard to get mad at ignorance. You can't get mad at ignorance because it's ignorance. Getting mad at it's not going to help. But you can't get mad at malice. People that are intentionally doing it, you can get mad at those people. Fuck those people. So other than that, not too much to get off my chest. The last little bit I will address is the views, comments, and apparently subscriptions I got yesterday. I wasn't expecting anyone to ever find this channel. This was just kind of for me to rant to myself. So I don't know how to react. I don't take positive criticism well. I'm kind of a, I don't know what you want to call it, self-conscious or low self-esteem or whatever individual. So I don't know how to respond to positive comments. Thank you, I guess. I appreciate the support. I don't know this. I don't plan for this channel to go anywhere. I don't know if I even want it to. I definitely never expected 150 people in one day and to wake up to a bunch of comments and stuff. So I don't know how to react really, other than rambling, I guess now, which I've gone into that realm of rambling. But thank you to everybody that had kind things to say. It does mean a lot to me. It's nice to know that you're not crazy, because I'm sure we all feel it sometimes, yeah. So that'll be my post for today. Keeping it down to 10 minutes again today. It seems like when there's not a lot going on, or not a lot that upsets me, the videos can stay around 10 minutes. When there is more going on, more that I'm upset about, like back during the Kavanaugh stuff that was going on. I was going on for like 20, 25, 30 minutes, and those were really long rants and probably went in circles a bit. So I'm gonna wrap this one up. And thank you again. Hope everybody does well. Get out there and vote, and have a great night. I might do a video in the morning introducing everybody to Jenkins. Jenkins is going to be the new face of this channel. So, yeah, look forward to Jenkins on screen tomorrow for the liberal conservatives. Thank you.